देख लेना एक बार लाइव देख लेना। विंडो कैप्चर करेंगे कि डिस्प्ले कैप्चर एट सोर्स। हाँ सर, स्क्रीनशॉट एंकर को बोल दो आखिरी बार। क्या तो पहले वक्त सर अगर पहले करेंगे ना तो लोग ज़्यादा एक्टिव भी रहेंगे और उतने सुनेंगे भी। अगर आखिरी में बोलेंगे ना तो लोग एग्जॉस्ट हो जाएंगे, इसलिए पहले ही बोलना चाहिए।
एक बार के लिए किसी से बात कर लेना।
श्योर। और मैं एंकर को बोलूँगा। चलिए
आमिर सर से बात कर लो। एंकर
कौन से सर?
आमिर सर। हाँ जी
हाँ श्योर सर, मैं खाली खत्म कर दूँ फिर मैं आऊँ, चलेगा?
याद रखना कि सबकी फिक्स आनी बहुत जरूरी है,
हाँ वो आप
क्योंकि
चिंता
वो
मत करना,
अल्टीमेटली एएचडी भेजनी है।
क्योंकि वो उसके भरोसे भी सब चल रहा है ना, उसके भरोसे
शगुन कैसा है? चल रहा है उसका रिसोर्ट वाला बिजनेस? और भी कुछ शुरू कर लिया? अच्छा।
अरे वो गिरीश जी को बुला के माइक्रोफोन चालू करना पड़ेगा। माइक्रोफोन पता है आपको? इधर इधर गिरीश जी को बुला के आओ ना, खाली दूसरा कुछ नहीं। अगर इसको एज अ माइक्रोफोन यूज करना है तो कैसे करना है?
नहीं उससे होता है, मैं किया हूँ।
माइक्रोफोन करता है ना?
हाँ
कैसे करते तू जल्दी फटाफट कर। नहीं ऐसे चलेगा सर, हो जाएगा।
इसमें दिखा रहा है माइक की आवाज आ रही है।
अरे वो इसका माइक्रोफोन है यार। यार
यूट्यूब का लिंक अभी तक शेयर नहीं हुआ है ना?
कब का हो गया? कल का ही हो
हो
गया।
गया? सब स्टूडेंट के पास है?
सब स्टूडेंट से हो
स्ट्रीम का
गया। आज मैंने सुबह ही 8:30 बजे करवाया था। हाँ नहीं पक्का कुछ होगा तो मैं आपको बोलूँगा।
ऑडियो
अरे ये खाली हेडफोन वाला है यार, माइक्रोफोन नहीं जाता है इसमें यार, क्या करेंगे अभी?
माइक्रोफोन
ये इनपुट नहीं खींचेगा फिर।
कौन सा है?
कोई भी करे यार, तू फटाफट कर, टाइम हुआ।
डिजिटल डिजिटल माइक इनपुट करके ये आएगा, वो सीधा कन्वर्ट करता है। डाउनलोड फ्री डाल दबा।
इशू तो करेगा क्या?
इससे वो सीधा सिर्फ माइक्रोफोन हेडफोन्स भी लगेंगे, मतलब
हेडफोन्स मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मुझे खाली माइक्रोफोन चाहिए, इसके अंदर इनपुट जाना चाहिए बस, दैट्स इट। हेलो। अरे
नहीं
इसका
माइक
माइक्रोफोन यूज कर रहा है यार, इसका यूज कर रहा है। ये प्राइवेसी है यार। वो सब कुछ है, दे दो। क्या दीदी? आपको तो बाद में बैठना है ना। बैठो बैठो, इधर बैठो, इधर है। क्या कर रहा है अभी यार? ये प्रॉब्लम हो गया यार। चूज अ डिवाइस फॉर स्पीकिंग और रिकॉर्डिंग। माइक्रोफोन, अरे ये तो इसका खुद का है, स्टीरियो मिक्स। शिट, क्या करेंगे, क्या करेंगे? चलो लेट्स ड्रॉप। नहीं नहीं, छोड़ अभी तो, छोड़ छोड़ छोड़। अच्छा हुआ आपने पास प्लान नहीं था, मुझे वो वाला माइक्रोफोन यूज करना था। चार्जिंग में रख दिया। तो ब्लूटूथ से जो करना है, ऐड डिवाइस, ब्लूटूथ, इसको बंद करो। तो यहाँ पे मीट चाहिए, मीट, गूगल मीट। गायत्री मैम आए क्या? तो उन पे ध्यान दे जल्दी, वो आए तो मुझे बुलाना। बैटरी पैक है किसके पास? बैटरी बैटरी पैक है किसके पास? बैंक बैंक चार्जर नहीं चाहिए, पावर बैंक चाहिए। जब तक चल रहा है तब तक इसको कनेक्ट भी करना पड़ेगा। वो भी माइक नहीं चलेगा, छोड़ अभी, जाने दो उसको। ट्राई कनेक्टिंग योर डिवाइस अगेन।
Go to the Bluetooth menu on your mobile device and connect to Jabra Speak 510. Connect to headset. Put your headset in pairing mode and wait for a connection to be established.
यार जैबरा दिख नहीं रहा है। हाँ, ये स्लो चल रहा है यार।
मॉनिटर का
इधर
वो स्प्लिट हुआ है ना शायद।
छोड़ो, चलो वटेवर, काम अपना होना चाहिए। ये है गलत चल रहा है
स्ट्रीम शुरू है।
यहाँ पे। नहीं, शुरू नहीं है।
शुरू है, एंड स्ट्रीम लिखा है।
पर नहीं है ना यार, वो लाइव लिखा है
एंड स्ट्रीम लिखा है।
यार। क्या दिख रहा है?
एक बार चालू कर, यूट्यूब पे आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं देख।
वो टेस्ट थोड़ी कर सकते हैं, वो तो
यूट्यूब पे चेक कर। ये उधर टेबल पे रख दे, जा टेबल पे रख दे।
एक ही ब्लू रखा है सब।
Together under one roof to make great things happen. In keeping with this spirit, I would like to express our deep felt thanks to all the dignitaries for gracing the occasion. I welcome all my colleagues and students to the inauguration of Atmanirbhar Grameen Bharat Empowerment through Strategies and Appropriate Technology Research, AGRESAR 2022, on the theme Rural Innovation and Entrepreneurship Towards Sustainable and Resilient Communities. Do the difficult things while they are easy, and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. As we put forward the first steps towards AGRESAR 2020, with the blessings of the Almighty and Sri Ramdev Baba, I request all the dignitaries to light the lamp. thank you all. Focus on the journey, not on the destination. Joy is found in finishing the activity, not in finishing the activity, but in doing it. Now I request the coordinator of the conference, Dr. Chandan Vitsore, to give his opening remarks.
Okay, good morning to all of you. Dignitaries on the dais, chief guest of today's function, Shri Shrikant Dubey, Senior General Manager and Plant Head at Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Farm Equipment Division. Our very own Principal Sir, Dr. Rajesh Pandey, who has been one of the guiding force for this conference. Mr. Prashant Deshpande, the Senior Manager HR at Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Nagpur. Dr. Rupesh Payas, the head of the department. All the faculty members and my dear students. So the name AGRESAR is an acronym for Atmanirbhar Grameen Bharat, empowerment through strategies and appropriate technology research. So basically this is an attempt to venture into an area which is unconventional and trying to find some solutions for the local population or say the local people. In line with that, we are now a part of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan scheme of the Government of India, and we are also trying to develop some kind of solutions for the local problems. So there are 12 subject expert groups under which these solutions are given. So it includes energy systems, craft and artisans, then you have rural industrialization and entrepreneurship development, sanitation, solid waste management, liquid management, infrastructure, ethos in technical education, technical institutions, water resource management, sustainable agricultural systems, capacity building, skill development, curriculum reforms, participation in school education, COVID, and others also. So under that, we also have some projects which are under development and which we may see the light of the day in the coming 6 months. That includes some of the projects I'm going to mention. So green energy charger. This is a human-powered green energy charger for mobile phone or laptop. Then we have the monitoring of the water quality, water supply quality using smart technologies. Then we have the smart crop protection in farms using sensors. Then capacity building through provision of training onto the products that are made from the cow dung. Pesticide spraying drone. Then design and development of dispensary machine for dispensation machine for common diseases, and then there is also an identification of the orange leaf disease using image processing techniques. So these are some of the projects on which currently the college is working on, and I am happy to inform that we are now aggressively looking at rural areas for the sake of providing some kind of engineering management or say technological interventions. I once again welcome you all for this conference. Have a nice and pleasant stay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Every day is a journey, and the journey itself starts from home. I now request our head of the department, Dr. Rupesh Payas, to address the gathering.
Respected guests on the days of the days, my colleagues, students, and all the authors and delegates who have joined online for this event. On behalf of Department of Management Technology, I welcome all of you to this conference. Sir, to brief you about our department, we are running two programs. One is a 2 years MBA program after graduation. Another is a 5 years integrated program after 12th. We have partnership with University of North Florida, USA for credit transfer. our students can spend one whole semester over there, and those credits will get transferred to their MBA degree program here. Our differentiators are mainly our course curriculum and pedagogies. We had made provisions in our course curriculum, or I may say program curriculum, that the student can decide what they want to learn. They can choose what they want to learn. So in fact, 45% of our curriculum has that flexibility. Another aspect of our curriculum and pedagogy is the experiential learning. We have made a lot of provisions in the curriculum itself and the pedagogy such a way that the students, they get hands-on learning the skills. We call experiential learning for that. And for that we had made provisions like field projects, internships. Even we have included lab courses also, just like engineering courses, we have lab courses. And we do include our students on consultancy assignment also. So in nutshell, I may say that we are making our graduates industry ready. We are making sure that our graduates get the required knowledge or the skill set which has been demanded by the industry. So we are in fact creating a ready for industry product. Another key strength of our department is our faculty. 90% of our faculty members are PhD. They are involved in research, and in fact most of these faculty members, they are providing consultancy and training on a very regular basis to the organizations in and around Nagpur. In recent time, we have identified this rural entrepreneurship and innovation as one of the thirst areas of our department for research and knowledge dissemination. And in fact, this event is one step in that particular direction. In fact, we started back with Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Last year, we conducted 3 training programs on rural innovation. They were 1 week each. Apart from that, sir, in order to give the impetus or direction, we have initiated Center for Rural Technology Development. We shortened that name as a craft. And what I feel that whatever the deliberation and the knowledge sharing which is going to happen in these 2 days, I think I wish that if we could come up with a actionable roadmap for Grameen Bharat development, then I think each one of us will get an opportunity to share his thoughts, his contribution for the development of this country. So once again, I welcome all the delegates, authors, organizers, and I congratulate each one of you for this particular conference. Thank you very much.
What is more kind than the feeling between the host and the guest? We feel privileged today to have an eminent personality amongst us as chief guest, Mr. Shrikant Dubey, plant head of Mahindra & Mahindra. With a master's degree in manufacturing management from BITS Pilani, Mr. Dubey has had an illustrious career in Mahindra & Mahindra spanning over 25 years. He has risen through the ranks at Mahindra with technical knowledge and interpersonal skills, and is now leading the Nagpur plant for the last 2 years as plant head. Please everyone welcome our chief guest with a round of applause. I request our principal, Dr. Rajesh Pandey, to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Shrikant Dubey, with shawl, trifle, memento and a gift as a token of our love and gratitude. We also have with us today Mr. Prashant Deshpande, Senior Manager HR in Mahindra & Mahindra. I request our Head of the Department, Dr. Rupesh Pius, to welcome Sir with a memento and a book as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much.
I now request our chief guest to address the gathering with his words of wisdom.
Good morning. Young minds, energy, passion to transform India. So, good morning. Much more louder is required. Good morning. I think more is required. Good morning. That's good. See, ultimately, we have to be a Atmanirbhar Bharat. At the same time, we have to improve the rural economy and means is technology, innovation. So we require a lot of energy and passion to do that, isn't it? Okay, and I'm confident the way the things were narrated and how many things you people are already doing. We are in the right direction to fulfill our dream of making this nation as great as it should be. Now, to start my address to this particular forum, I thank Mr. Rajesh Pandey for inviting me for this session, Mr. Vichoreji, Mr. Paisji, Bund Madam, and all of the students, faculties present over here. So I think it's my privilege to talk about a topic on Atmanirbhar Bharat, connecting it with rural India and innovation as an enabler for this. And when I got this invitation, I was thinking who can be better off than a person working in Mahindra to talk about this particular aspect. We at Mahindra, as you know, has been transforming lives of rural population through various technologies, products, processes, innovations to become a Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I think whatever we are discussing today, the baby steps in this direction has been taken in the late 70s by Mahindra, and today whatever we could transform the lives of the people in the rural India has started around 1970s. Earlier we were having our Jeep as only one of the product up to 1970, between 1950 to 1970. And then we started working in the agriculture field with the invention of tractor. And I will tell you, when we started making this tractor, we were having only petrol engine as in our kitty. So when we were having petrol engine, how a farmer can use a petrol engine with its initial cost as high as, engine also is a costlier, the running cost is also very high. So he cannot do that. So in India always diesel was cheaper than petrol. And then when we were having this as an option, we thought that why we should not have a diesel engine for tractor application. And when we started working on this thing, I will tell you, innovation that we talk about today, in 1970 to 74, around this period, we converted our own petrol engine into diesel engine. That was our in-house invention, in-house innovation and in-house incubation for technology adaptation to diesel engines. At that time, you must be aware that diesel engine was primarily used for heavy commercial vehicles. Converting that to an application like a tractor was a big task, but the innovation started during that phase. So what we can see today, what Mahindra is, having its own roots in these kind of innovations and transforming the lives of the customers made possible because of this. Today, what we see in rural India, the transformation which is happening, requires to be, accelerated. It's not so that nothing is happening in rural India. And incidentally, I'm also a farmer along with my job as a plant head. In fact, my wife is a farmer, so I have got a lot of interaction nowadays with, the farming community, the rural India, and that's why this becomes my subject of interest. How we can change the lives of the people in that area. So when we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, are we talking about a protectionism that our products only can be sold out in Indian market and then we can have, our own monopoly to run the businesses? No, we don't want that. Do we want to say that we want to be only self-sufficient? When we talk about self-sufficient, rural India used to be self-sufficient earlier days. When everybody, starting from Lohar to Chambhar to anybody and anybody is required, is in that region only. But an Atmanirbhar is much more than this. Talking about not only fulfilling your own requirement, but creating business opportunity beyond that. So Atmanirbhar, when we talk about, is much bigger than only satisfying your own requirements and going beyond that, how we can make businesses out of it, entrepreneurship out of it. Why rural India requires all this Atmanirbharta or what we can say innovation? So there are so many issues in rural India. But generally what I feel, there are 5 top of the list issues which we have to tackle with. First is and foremost is health of the people from rural India. Second is agriculture. Third is businesses associated with agriculture. Fourth, sanitization. And fifth, education. Now all these 5 topics has got huge potential to make use of innovation. Now what is innovation? Generally we think that something which is coming new is an innovation. What we have started in Mahindra around 10 years before, when we started talking about innovation, we said that it is a journey from pain to gain. Pain means there are certain problems, there are certain issues, there are certain difficulties, there are certain needs which we have to fulfill. And gain is converting that pain into something which is beneficial for the end user. Now when we talk about this journey from pain to gain, how part becomes most important thing. And the how part is having a novel solution. When we talk about a new solution, we talk about innovation. So when we talk about innovation, it is not something which we are doing for the first time. Some of you must have seen the literatures or articles on innovation, can have different views on innovation. For practical purposes or what we generally understand in industry is that inventions are the job of scientists, research fellows who are converting theories into something which is which we call it as theorems or principles or some sort of a specification or standards. These are already available with us. How we use all these science research, engineering knowledge into actual practical application and use of the customer is innovation. Now you talk about any innovation, somebody must have seen Google, YouTube's or some films here and there. They will find that you will have only rotary motion. There would be reciprocating motion, which is used for going for suppose in-house built washing machine or something called as wool removal from sheep also. So what are all these things? These are already available in the system. A person who was innovative has converted these inventions into practical applications. Now why it is required in rural India? Because there are lot of complexities in rural India. Less resources. You cannot have abundance of resources in the rural India. If you have to reach to that particular place, you will have to travel to that destination, create some infrastructure over there and then only you can work. So resources are less. They do not accept the technology if it is not easy and comfortable for them to use. So what happens that you require a customized solution, you require simplified solutions. So when we talk about customized solutions, simplified solutions, you require a lot of efforts to make it happen. See, you cannot talk about the jargons in front of a rural population. You have to say that, okay, this is simple thing which we can do. So the less resources coupled with, their demand to be having a easier solution, economical solution becomes more, demanding as far as, creating innovation infrastructure in the rural India. At the same time, because of these two things, because resources are less, they want an easier solution. I think opportunities are enormous in that particular zone. Like most of the people in marketing or MBA marketing, they know the example. Somebody went to Africa and said that, nobody is using shoes over here. So two of the marketing representatives responded back to their head office. One was saying that there is no market for shoes in this area, and somebody said that there is a huge market because nobody is using shoes over here. Now it's a perspective, how you look at the problem. And if you look at the problem with that perspective, I think we can make the change in the rural India. If you talk about, when I talk about, having academicians talking about jargoning and all this thing, you talk about a pH value of soil, suppose. Take an example of agriculture. Within the land of 10 acres, you will have, 6 to 7 types of, kind of soils within that particular 10-acre area. Because it's not a flat land what we can get. There would be pH because of, having a more murum in that area, or somebody has having a big, black soil in some other area. What you require a portable pH meter, like what we have got for, sugar and mapping and all this thing. Do we have that? No. Can you expect farmer to bring the samples from 7 or 8 locations, go to the laboratory, check it in that, you have burettes and pipettes and work upon that? Not possible. What you require? Customize, easy to use solution, which he feels he can. Now there is also a myth that they are not technology savvy. They don't want to use the technology. And I'm upfront in talking about this aspect because, unless we are clear about what are the issues, we cannot have our, alignment towards what are supposed to be solutions for these people. It's not so. We have seen when we introduce rice transplanter, when we, whoever has seen the rice, sowing, they will take single buds and they will just go on inserting into that particular mud, which is created out of the slurry which we generate with a mix of water and soil. It was a simple solution. We used to have attachment, and then people will be sitting and then they will be sowing. Instead of that, we have got a rotary mechanism now, which is called as rice transplanter. We just go on putting, sowing that particular buds at every particular distance, and it's a very small PTO-driven rotary mechanism, which has transformed lives of people from Bengal. They have started using it in a much more numbers than anybody in the India. And if you know the topography of Bengal, they are very less inclined to technology or kind of the innovations what we can have. Now similar example is there for 4-wheel drive tractor. I am giving you practical example because you will be able to correlate. You know what is a 4-wheel drive? Generally our vehicles have got 2-wheel drive, that is only the rear wheels will have power for driving. 4-wheel drive is something when we give the power to the front tires also. Why it is required? Because traction is more, and when the traction is more, you can do more field work. Why it is required? Because if you are in puddling operation, lot of power is required to counter that slurry. So when we started using this, rather introduction of this particular tractor, we were skeptical. We'll have hardly any numbers to sell. Today, the people from Andhra and Tamil Nadu, they have identified this as a big solution for their problem. Why? Because when the puddling is happening, the tires are inside the mud and you cannot have traction because there is no friction or surface which is available for them to do. The kind of four-wheel application what we have got, it has improved the productivity by 10%. Because with the same fuel, they are getting the coverage of this particular land preparation 10 times more than what they were getting. In value terms, in cost term, it was coming around 30 to 35,000 per acre. We were also not knowing, frankly, we were also not knowing. But then farmers evolved out that solution and they said that this application is suitable for this particular tractor combination. Now, because of this, what is happening is that there is now enthusiasm that yes, they can use the technology, and nobody better than all of us understand that today the use of mobile phones is much more in rural India than in the urban India also. You get satbara of your land on your mobile phone. Can you imagine the person has to travel to Tahsil office, get the satbara, get it printed, give some money for getting that print. Today everything is available on the mobile tab. And I can tell you most of the farmers are now just using that satbara on the tab and taking all the benefits. All the online transaction what the beneficial schemes what we have got, they do it through mobile only. So they are technology savvy. They want technology which is more suitable, more comfortable for them, and ultimately at a less cost. Now when we talk about all these things, it leads to a huge opportunity for all of us. All these applications today are unexplored. There are no solutions, or solutions are there but those are not properly utilized, or they are not very comfortable for that particular customer base to work upon. So as young people as you are, and with the support of academics, the research, various the inventions, we can make that life much more simpler. I was talking to somebody on that day about why you are pouring so much of water for orange trees. Orange tree, whoever has seen the orange farms, they will see that they will be showing out another flat surface. Okay, and what happens is that they will just pump out the water from the wells and they will flood that area. Whereas if you go to the details of the orange plantations, water is biggest enemy of stem of the orange tree, because it leads to lot of fungus generation, lot of diseases are basically because of that. Israel worked on a simple solution, and that is getting implemented in Nagpur region also. They went into the bed kind of a system. What happens is that they create beds, it's a raised bed with respect to the flat surfaces. So what happens is that the orange is getting only the water which is required, because roots will dry out water, or pull out whatever the water is required. But then it is not flooding the particular stem area. That has increased productivity by 30%. So small example. Now tell me how many of us would be requiring this raised bed as solution? Israel has used it. Today they are the leaders in agricultural output. Why we cannot think about that? We were getting electricity free of cost. We were having a pump with a subsidized rates. We were having a wells. We were just pumping on water onto the fields. Is it a solution for that? Unless we think about this, why I am wasting this resource? We cannot improve the productivity of farming and in turn rural India. Same I was talking about the 5 priority area, health. Why we should have primary health center having a proper building and one person going, or most of the times doctor is not available in that primary health center. Why can't we have a solution where we can have a mobile dispensary kind of a thing which is going having a particular timing and coming out and providing the services to the medical community. We can have one startup doing only this activity. How many patients would be there in rural India? Huge numbers. Why can't we do that? Sanitization. Today, why we want to have a drainage system which is given by British to us? We can see the drainage system which was available in Harappas, where it was much simpler than what drainage system which we have got. And if we implement this drainage system in the rural India, we can be much better off, less expensive, and more customized to the requirement of the customer. Same is the case with education. Same is the case with the allied businesses of agriculture. What are the allied businesses of agriculture? The farmer will produce. The rural India is driven by farmers, so they will produce. But then there is a supporting system in that particular agricultural base, where somebody has to pick that output of that farm, process it, and give it to the mandi for sell out. Today, most of our farm product gets spoiled because of lack of cold storages, because of lack of preservations. Do we require huge cold storages, having a refrigeration system to have these preservations? I think no. We require small, because farmer has got a very small exposure or small product to process. Can we not have small cold storage coming out of small innovations wherein we can use solar technology, because there is a power scarcity also or power cut-offs also. Can we not have solar system supporting these cold storages? Sometimes also I see, and most of you must have noticed, even in the peak summer, if you pull out the water from a well, it is much cooler than what the ambience is there on the top surface. Can we not use this technology of cooling which is available below the earth level or the top of the earth to make something which is useful for the farm product? Because there are wells, there are small space which is available, we can make use of it. Today we look at, somebody will tell that okay, if we want to have farm products, proper storage, they will say that we'll have investment of almost, cold storage will require investment of almost 30 to 40 lakhs. Can farmers be able to accommodate that kind of expenditure? Not possible. If 3 or 4 farmers having a small cold storage which is supported by the power system which is customized to their requirement, I think they can have a solution. I have seen nowadays cooling towers are getting extinguished. Cooling towers are not available. Cooling tower was a very small system. Today we talk about only refrigeration, because there are companies who can sell out refrigeration systems much more aggressively than cooling towers. Because cooling tower is a small system, is a very cheap system. So what I am looking at, these are problems, but then at the same time, the readily available inventions, theorems, principles, if you can convert it into applicable innovations, I think that's a huge opportunity for all of us to make life different in the rural India. And I can see this thing happening. However, maybe a very small, what can say, small portion of the things which can be done. But still, that's a ray of hope for all of us to work upon. And instead of concentrating much more on the problems or the difficulties in urban India or metros or cities, I think the most of the businesses, most of the entrepreneurship would be driven by the difficulties, the challenges in rural India. As we all know, the real GDP growth will come when we make lives of rural economy, contribution of rural economy going into multifolds than currently what we have got. And because of this, I strongly believe Atmanirbhar Bharat is only possible if we transform lives of rural India through innovation. And nobody better than the forum in front of me can make this happen. So with this confidence and with lot of hopes. I feel this is possible for all of us, and at the same time, there is a huge opportunity for all of us to make it happen. The time has given us a chance to convert these, difficulties into opportunities, and all of us will rise to these, challenges and make this nation ultimately our own nation a great nation all over, places wherever we want to be. May not be only a space technology, may not be only, automobile technology, may not be only what we can say information technology, but this area also requires support, inputs, efforts from all of us. So with the confidence that we all will rise to the occasion and make it happen, I conclude my small interaction, I can say, or small, expression of my thoughts. So thank you very much for calling me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your address has definitely enriched the audience and has gone a long way in motivating them to find customized solutions for the rural communities. I now request our principal, Dr. Rajesh Pandey, to give his presidential address.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished chief guest of today's function, Mr. Shrikant Dubey, Plant Head Mahindra & Mahindra Nagpur. Mr. Prashant Deshpande from Mahindra & Mahindra. He is a Senior HR Manager. Head of the Department of Business Management, Dr. Rupesh Payas. Coordinator of this conference, Dr. Chandan Bichore, who is also the head of Center of Rural Development, Rural Empowerment, recently installed on campus. Co-coordinator Dr. Gayatri Band, faculty members of the Department of Business Management, dear students and participants. This is a AICTE sponsored two-day national conference, and Atmanirbhar Bharat, rural empowerment is the theme. We all know that Atmanirbhar Bharat is a need of our, which is the initiative of Government of India, recently launched in the COVID times. And it is necessary for Indian economy and growth of this nation. We are part of this initiative of Government of India. We know that, and it reminds me, that we have studied in our schools that in the pre-British era, in the ancient India, in the medieval India, villages were self-reliant. There was a fine balance as far as the intra-village and inter-village economy is concerned. This fine balance is destroyed by the British. The great disruption introduced by British through the Industrial Revolution destroyed, since the abrupt introduction of the industrialization, destroyed the rural economy. Mahatma Gandhi said that India lives in villages. Today also, 70% population lives in rural areas, villages. Their livelihood depends on agriculture or allied means, veterinary, agriculture-based industries and so on. Even today, after 75 years of independence, we must understand that 70% people are dependent on rural industries. And of late, we have launched once again the Atmanirbharta, self-reliant villages, the concept of self-reliant villages, the fine connection between the villages, the fine connection between the industrialization and the rural industries. Introduction of the technology, introduction of innovations, research, which is primarily confined to the urban areas, to the higher technology areas has been again reintroduced to the villages. At the same time, maintaining the traditional knowledge, Indian ancient technologies, knowledge, and having a fine combination between the ancient knowledge plus the today's technology, today's innovation will bring the required change. So the strengthening of village economy is essential. Developing, nurturing that ecosystem is essential. And this can be achieved by deploying the sustainable, affordable, modern technology. As you know, that government has entrusted this task to many industries like Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Rural Development, Skill Development, also supported by Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Industries indirectly. So this vertical will be associated, will help developing the technologies. But the second important vertical is education, which has been roped in by Government of India very aggressively recently. They have launched National Education Policy. If you read the document of National Education Policy, you will find that in spite of the fact that 70% population is directly dependent on agriculture, the gross enrollment ratio in the agricultural universities is hardly 3 to 4%. Whereas in general, the GER is around 30%, 28%. NEP says that they have the target of increasing GR to 50% after 15 years. What will happen to agriculture, which is hardly 3 to 4 to 5%? It is definitely the need of our to take this mission very aggressively. And wherein the higher educational institutes, higher technical educational institutes have been roped in for this task. And this is the reason we are also now the part of this effort, this initiative. We have started and we have some programs. We are of course not up till now very aggressively involved in the rural development, rural empowerment issues. However, we are working with Ministry of MSMEs. We have some schemes. We have started a Section 8 company in which we are also part of a Ministry of MSME scheme, Aspire, which is for the promotion of rural industrialization. We are motivating our students and faculty members to contribute significantly. We have, as Dr. Chandan Vichoro said, he is in charge of that Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So we have recently submitted around 15 ideas, which we will implement and give it to the villages. So I think the need of the hour is that since we are in the higher and technical education institute, we have to think globally, implement, act locally. We have to address the local needs very aggressively. I feel that this institute will be instrumental in this initiative of Government of India to empower India as a nation. These technology-driven systems, research, innovation, digital technologies will definitely build the aptitude and attitude amongst these young minds, young talents, and this human resource will surely achieve the targets. I am tempted to introduce my institution to Honorable Chief Guest because Head of the department introduced the Department of Business Management very nicely to everyone. So this college, sir, is established in 1984 by Shri Ramdev Baba Sarvajanik Samiti, a registered trust under the visionary leadership of founder and chairman emeritus Shri Banwari Lal Purohit, who is presently Honorable Governor of Punjab and Administrator of Union Territory, Chandigarh. This college at present has 12 undergraduate engineering programs, 7 postgraduate engineering programs, 2 business management program, 1 MCA, and Center for Higher Learning and Research leading to PhD degrees. We have around 5,000 students, sir. We have 245 faculty members, out of which around 140 are doctorate, holding the PhD degrees. We are ranked by National Institutional Ranking Framework as the top institutes. Among self-finance institute in Maharashtra, we are number 1. In India, we are 119th. We have started a Section 8 company which supports or promotes innovation amongst faculty and students. We have around 23 startups. Very few, of course, very few are related to rural rural industrialization part. But we have certain schemes and plans to strengthen it further. I'm confident, sir, your speech was really guideline for this particular domain. I was listening very carefully. Almost all the aspects were covered. So I would like to compliment the organizers for calling very appropriate chief guest, whose company Mahindra & Mahindra is directly involved in rural industrialization since many years. I think more than 50 years. More than 50 years. So compliments to department. And compliments to department for, once again, to organize such a wonderful event. I am also pleased to note for the first time after 2 years, big number of students on campus. Today, after 2 years, I removed my mask and come in here without mask. So, but still, we need to take care. So welcome on campus once again. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude is the best attitude. There is not a more pleasing exercise of the mind than gratitude. It is accompanied with such an inward satisfaction that the duty is sufficient reward itself. Now I request Dr. Gayatri Band, Co-Coordinator, AGRESAR 2022, to propose the vote of thanks. A very good morning to all the people on the dais, off the dais, the faculty members and the students. It is the greatest joy to wake up every morning and find that there is something new to do and accomplish today as we formally inaugurate the 2-day Interdisciplinary National Conference AGRESAR 2022. The essence of all beautiful art is gratitude. So I thank our chief guest, Mr. Shrikant Dubey, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. I would also like to thank Mr. Prashant Deshpande sir for gracing this occasion. And I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to our principal, Dr. Rajesh Pandey sir, for being present here, and along with the management for giving us all the support for organizing this particular event as a grand success. Not what we give, but what we share. For the gift of the giver is more important than the other. So I extend my heartfelt thanks to our head of the department, Dr. Rupesh Pai sir, and the coordinator for the conference, Dr. Chandan Vichore sir, for their constant support and guidance to make this conference successful. Mentors give perspective, the sponsors give us opportunities. I take this opportunity to extend my greatest thanks to all the sponsors for this conference. Mr. Saurabh Singh for the Safeguard Detective and Manpower Solutions Private Limited, Mr. Videsh Bapat, DC Concepts, Mr. Manesh Rajan, Capello, and Mr. Nikhil Lalwani for Raymond's. So with proud privilege, I also extend my thanks to all my colleagues, without whom this event could not have been planned and executed as presented today. So I thank all the faculty members who have supported and held the responsibilities for the various activities and being present here to add to the foundation for AGRESAR 2022. Appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. So I appreciate the efforts of the student members of the Department of Management Technology for working hard day in and day out for the success of this conference. I also thank the organizing, all the members. The team efforts shown by them has been exemplary. I can't imagine the right wings for the DMT to fly, to unite without the participation. So any event cannot succeed without the participation. So I thank all the in-house and the external participants for their enthusiastic participation in this conference.
and also for being present online to attend this inauguration. I also thank all the non-teaching staff for being the backbone support of this particular event. So I thank one and all the members present here for gracing this occasion, and I now request everybody to rise for the national anthem.
Thank you everyone. I now request the guests and the faculty members to proceed for refreshments. The students can join back their classrooms.